Hello everyone. Now today we are going to discuss binomial options pricing model. Remember, the concept that we are taking up today in options is a two-stage binomial options pricing model. Okay, so binomial options pricing model is based on tree. We will have to construct a diagram, and on the basis of that diagram we will be estimating the value of the call option as well as the put option. Now before starting the whole solution of this problem, let us understand the problem. What all this problem is indicating. This is saying that a stock is currently priced at rupees 50. So the price of the stock, it is rupees 50 for the next two. So it's a two-stage model because there are two stages which are mentioned in this problem. 3 months period, the time given over here is 3 months. It is expected to go up by 6% or it is expected to go down by 5%. See, why it is called as binomial? Because the word bi indicates two. So it's a two-directional model. Either the prices can go up or the prices can go down. So it is expected that if the prices are increasing, they are going to increase by 6%, and if the prices are decreasing, then they are going to decrease by 5%. So bi indicates two. So there could be a two-sided movement, any of the two-sided movement, that the price can increase or the price can decrease. The rate of interest is 5%. What is the value of 6 months call option with a strike price of rupees 51? So first of all, you must remember the spot price. The spot price in this question is rupees 50. The spot price is indicated by S and the strike price is indicated by K. So what do we have in the strike price? The strike price is rupees 51. Now the difference between the two. Spot price refers to the current market price of the stock. So the current market price of the stock is 50, and the strike price refers to the exercise price on which the contract is made, and the strike price is rupees 51. So the stock, first of all, first target is to find out the spot price as well as the strike price. Then you have to find out the risk-free rate. The rate of interest, it is 5%, which could be written as 0.05. Right? The risk-free rate of interest is 5%. So this 5% can be written as 0.05. What else do we have? It is a two-stage model. You must remember, because it is mentioned that for the next 3 months period, 3 months is basically the time duration which is given, and the price is expected to go up by 6% or down by 5%. So two-stage model is given, time is 3 months. Now we will have to convert it on an yearly basis. So 3 by 12 will give us 0.25. Had it been 6 months, so 6 divided by 12, you have to convert it into yearly basis. It would have been 0.5. and 1 year you would have taken the value of t as 1. So you have to convert it on an yearly per annum basis, and time 3, since you got 12 months in a year, so 3 divided by 12 will give you 0.25. What else? You got the spot price, strike price, rate of return is 0.05, t, the value of time is 0.25. Then you have to find out two factors. One is u, another is d. U is upswing constant, D is downswing constant. So upswing constant, in that you will have to add 1 to the percentage increase, right? If the stock price is increasing, so the upswing constant would become, it is going to increase by, it is going to go up by 6%. So it will be 1.006 will give you 1.06. So the value of u will be equal to 1.06, and D is downswing constant. You have to subtract down decreasing percentage from 1, so the value of the stock will go down by 5%. It is going to decrease by 5%. So we have to denote in this manner. 1 minus 0.05 will give us 0.95. Right? This is the value of D. So we have to find out the value of U. We have to find out the value of D. What are the full forms of U and D? U is upswing constant. So in order to calculate the value of upswing constant, we have to add up the percentage increase in the stock, and the percentage increase given in this question is 6%. To calculate the value of downswing constant, we have to subtract the percentage decrease in the stock value, and the percentage by which it is going to decrease is given as 5%. Remember, the stock is expected to go down by 5%. So the percentage decrease is 5%, which is 0.05. So 1 minus P will give you D downswing constant, 1 plus P will give you upswing constant. Right? So these are the factors that we have just estimated. Now we have to make use of the main formula, which is the essence of binomial options pricing model. We are going to find out the value of the call option. You must remember that, and value of the call option has to be calculated by the help of this formula, which is CO. It is CU into P CU dot P plus CD 1 minus P whole divided by E raised to the power RT. Now CO stands for value of the call option, price of the call option, premium of the call option that you are going to calculate by using CU multiplied by P plus CD 1 minus P whole divided by ERT. You know the value of R, we know the value of T. T is time, R is rate of interest, risk-free rate of interest, that is 0.05. Now CU stands for, please take it down, call option value at the upswing. CU, U stands for upswing, so we have to take the value of call option when the price of the stock is increasing. So CU stands for call option value when the price of the stock is increasing, or simply call option value at the upswing. CD stands for call option value at the downswing situation, when the price of the stock is decreasing, right? That is CD. And P stands for probability that we are going to calculate with the help of this formula, which is ERT minus D upon U minus D. So value of probability, which is going to be used in this particular formula, it is calculated by this formula, which is ERT minus D whole divided by U minus D. Now we know the value of U, we know the value of D. U is 1.06, D is 0.95. What do we need to calculate? The value of ERT. Now the value of ERT, it is R is 0.05, T, the value of time, it is 0.25. Right? Now multiply 0.05 by 0.25. What will you get? E raised to the power 0.0125. Right? So we will be calculating the value of E raised to the power RT also. But before that, we must calculate, we must start building the binomial option pricing model tree. We have to construct the diagram. But these are the formulas that are going to be used in this model. Formula number 1, CO, call option value. Please take down this formula, and then formula number 2, the formula to calculate the value of probability. So please take down these two formulas which are going to be used in this model. How are we going to use it? That I will explain you. Right? And I can take down the values over here. S, spot price is rupees 50. K, stock strike price is rupees 51. R, rate of interest is 0.05, T, it is 0.25, U, the value of U, it is 1.06, and D, it is 0.95. Remember, it's a two-stage model. Now I am going to erase all these values because you've already taken down these values, and for your convenience I have placed all these values, I have written all these values over here. So you have the value of ERT, SK, RT and U and D. U is upswing constant, D is downswing constant. So let's start the construction of binomial option pricing model tree. First of all, we are going to construct the diagram for the binomial option price. Remember, the strike price is 51 and the spot price is rupees 50. So we start. There are two stages, right? And two stages means, first of all, we have to increase the value. Either the value can increase or the value can decrease. Now, if you want to increase the value can increase by 6%. It is given in the question that if you want to increase, the value can be increased by 6%, and if the value is decreasing, the value of the stock can decrease by 5%. So value can increase by 6%. It is given in the problem. You can always rewind your video and find out that if the price of the stock is increasing, it can be increased by 6%. If the price is going to decrease, it can decrease by 5%. So when it is going to be increased by 6%, so do it. Use your calculators. 50 into 0.06. Adding it, we will get the value as 53. And if the value is decreasing, it is going to be decreased by 5%. So 50 into 0.05, you subtract it, you will get 47.5. Got it? If you want to increase, you have to increase by 6% because this is the rate which is given in the problem. So 6% increase will give you value as 53. It is going to be increased by 6%. And if the price is decreasing, it is estimated that it will decrease by 5%. So 50 for decrease of 5%, the value will be 2.5. You subtract 2.5 from 50, you will get it as 47.5. In the next stage, the price can again go up or can go down. Right? So, if the prices are going up, we have to increase by 6%. And if the price has to decrease, it will decrease by 5%. Similarly, if it is going to increase, it will increase by 6%. And if they are going to decrease, it is going to decrease by 5%. Now, if you are going to increase from 53, just find out the 6% value. 53 into 6%. 3.18. Adding this, you will get it as 56.18. This is going to be the price in the second stage. Since it is a two-stage model, first stage the values were 53 and 47.5. Now you have to decrease the value by 5% from 53. So 53 into 0.05 will give you 2.65 minus, you will get the value as 50.35. Now one thing more. If you have to increase by 6% from here, because if the price of the stock is going to increase, it has to increase by 6%. That is the rate which is given in the question. So from 47.5, the increase is 6%. Adding it, you will again get the same value. So whether you are decreasing by 5% from 53 or you are increasing by 6% from 47.5, you are going to get the same value. So this is one thing by which you can always cross-check your calculations. Next, from 47.5, if you are going to decrease, so it decreased by 2.375, you subtract it and you will get it as 45.125. Right? Now please take down this table. I am giving you a break of a very short while. Please take down the values up till here. Then I am going to construct the tree for call option. Okay, so this is the value, this is the tree for spot price or market price tree. You have to construct the market price tree or market price diagram, then only you can construct the tree for call option. So remember these things, you have to construct the tree for market price, and it has to be constructed with the help of the percentages which are given to us. Now remember, for call option, again we will have to construct a diagram and we have to go by the same concept of two stage, first stage and then second stage, right? So we have to construct the diagram for market price or spot price in the beginning, then only we can find out the value of the call option. Now in the call option diagram, we have to move in the backward direction. We have to start from the last stage and then we have to move backward to find out the value at this initial stage. This is going to be our final answer, and to achieve that we have to go in a reverse direction. We have to start from the last stage and then move backward. How do we do that? Remember, the price in the last stage was 56.18. Now you have to see the strike price was 51. The price on which the contract is made is 51. Now since the market price is greater than the strike price, so it is a profitable situation for the call option holder or the call option buyer, because the market price is greater than the strike price. So whenever the market price is greater than the strike price, it is, an option for in the money. It is a profitable situation which is called as in the money situation. Money is getting in. You are getting a profit of the difference between 56.18 and 51. So please subtract 56.18 and 51 and the difference will be equal to 5.18. The difference between the two values will be the real-time profit of the call option buyer. So the profit of this stage of this place is 5.18. So remember, whenever the market price is greater than the strike price, it is a profitable situation for the call option buyer. It is a losing situation for the put option buyer. We are going to discuss put option in our next lecture. Our focus over here is only on call option. So the difference between the two, it is a profitable situation because the market price is greater than the strike price. Whenever the market price is greater, you will have a profitable situation. Now at this juncture, 50.35, the second situation, 50.35 is less than 51. So this is a losing option because the market price has gone down. Now what will the decision maker do? The call option buyer will lapse the whole option. He is not going to execute it. He is not going to exercise his right. So he is going to lapse this particular option and the result will be zero. He cannot bear the loss, right? He has got the right to buy, but he doesn't have the obligation to buy. So when the market price is less, this situation market price is less than strike price, and again here also the market price is less than the strike price. So again the profit of this call option buyer will be zero. So whenever the market price is greater, there will be a profitable situation. And the market price is lesser, it will be a losing option, right? So he will not execute it, and what will he do? Rather he will just lapse the option. The result would be zero. Now we have got 5 situations. Situation number A, B, C, D, E and F. Now we have to apply the formula for call option and we have to find out the value at every stage. But one thing you can know just by looking at the diagram, that if the upswing value is 0 and if the downswing value is 0, the result at this C node will be 0. right? Whatever the situation is, if the upswing value is 0 and if the downswing value is 0, so when you will put both these zeros in your formula, you will always get the answer as 0, right? As simple as that. So what do we need to calculate now? We have to go for option B. So we have to start our calculation for this node B. How do we do that? I am going to erase this diagram because I guess you've already taken it down. I have also given the time to take down this diagram. So after constructing the market price diagram, now we have to find out the value at this node B. So I am marking this heading. We have to find out the value of B. For that, first of all, we need to calculate the value of P. And how to do that? E is basically ERT minus D upon U minus D. Now ERT, this was already explained, e raised to the power 0.05 into 0.25. The rate of interest was 0.05, it was 5%. Time was 3 months, 3 by 12, we got the value as 0.25. Multiplying both these factors, we got the value as 0.0125. Now we have to find out the value of E raised to the power 0.0125. So I am also attaching a video to explain you the value of E raised to the power 0.0125. But in simple words, you can take the constant 2.7183. Then just square root it 12 times. So take 2.7183, it's an exponential constant. Just do the square root 12 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Then subtract 1 from it, right? You will get the value is 1.000244172206 and so on. Subtract 1 from it, you will get 0.000244172206 and so on. You don't need to write down this value. Multiply the value which is at the power place, so into 0.0125. So you multiply this value by 0.0125, you will get something like 0.5 times 0 and then 305215. Now what will you do? You will have to add 1 to it. Add 1, then you will get 1.5 times 0, 305215. Now since we have done the square root 12 times, now we have to square it up 12 times. So how to square it up 12 times? You have to press into is equal to. That is the first round. And you have to repeat this whole function 12 times. So adding 1 and then you have to press into is equal to 12 times. How many times? 12 times. So I have done 1. Now next 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. So the value which is coming out to be is 1.01258, right? Looking magical. So the value will be equal to 1.01258. So we are going to round it off. It is becoming 1.0126. So we can write 1.0126. How do we do that? I'll give you a brief recap. I am also attaching a video explaining only this exponential function. See how to do that. Take this value. This is the exponential constant. It is going to remain fixed. E exponential constant is 2.7183. Just do the square root 12 times. You will get something. Subtract 1 from it. Whatever answer you get, just multiply the power function, the value which is at the power place. Since you have subtracted 1, you have to add that 1 to it. And when you add 1, you just have to square it 12 times. The algorithm says 12 times. So this is also done 12 times. And what do you need to do? You need to press into is equal to. That's first iteration. Then into is equal to second time, into is equal to third time, till 12 times you have to do it, and you will get the value as 1.0126. So we have the value of ERD as 1.0126. D, downswing value was 0.95, and U was 1.06 minus D, again 0.95. Now please solve it using your calculators. Let me see how many of you are capable of solving it. 1.0126 minus 0.95. So this is 0.0626, and 1.06 minus 0.95. It is 0.11. Ultimately, you will get 0.626 minus, divided by 0.11. It is equal to 0.569. So we get the value of P, the probability function over here, is giving you 0.569. Now we have to make use of this P in our main formula. Cu into P plus CD 1 minus P upon ERT. Now see, what have we got? When we are sitting at B, the call value at the upswing is 5.18. So we place the value as 5.18 into P. Probability value, it is 0.569 plus CD, call value at the downswing. D is downswing. Now at this downswing node the value is 0. So you multiply this whole thing by 0, you will get the answer as 0 only. Right? There is no need to put the value 1 minus P, although 1 minus 0.569 will give you 0.431, but multiplied by 0, because the call option value at the downswing is 0. So multiply by 0, you will get the value as 0. And ERD came out to be 1.0126. So it came out to be 1.0126. Now solve it, and you will get the value of node B. Please use your calculators. 5.18 multiplied by 0.569. It is 2.947 upon 1.0126 divided by 1.0126 will give you 2.9107. So we take it up in 2 decimal places. It is coming as 2.91. So we have the value of node B, that is 2.91. Please take it down, because I need to erase the values up till here. Kindly take down the value at the node B, and it is coming as 2.91. Right? So I'll just write this value neatly, since it's an important one. It is 2.91. That's the value at node B. Once you have got the value at the node B, then only you can calculate the value at node A. So differentiating these values, now you can take down up till here, and then let's just finish off this question. Okay, let's move on. This was the value at D. So I am taking down the value of the probability, the probability constant. It is binomial option pricing constant, that is 0.569. Then ERT 0.0125, it is 1.0126. This is going to be of immense importance in order to calculate the value of A node, right? So let us go for node A, and let's erase this part. because now we are on the verge of completing the question on the climax of this problem. Now we are going to find out the value at node A. Formula remains the same. CU, call option value is CU multiplied by P plus CD 1 minus P upon ERT. CU says call option value at the upswing when the price of the stock is increasing. CD says call option value at the downswing when the price is decreasing. So CU, when we are sitting at node A, the upswing value is 2.91. Let's place it. P, probability constant was 0.569. It is also called as binomial option pricing constant. Plus CD, the downswing call option value over here is 0. So 0 into 1 minus P. Even if you do 1 minus 0.569, you will get it as 0.46431. But multiplying it, the whole function, you will get the answer as 0. So we don't need to calculate the value. We just have to place the value as 0. ERT, we've already calculated it. It is coming as 1.0126. Now next, we have to solve it. So how to solve it? 2.91 multiplied by 0.569. That's coming as 1.656 upon 1.0126. 1.0126. Once we divide it, we will get the value as 1.6356. So rounding it off, 1.636. Now please take down the value up till here. This is the value of call option at node A. So that is 1.636. Let's make a bigger one. 1.636. So this is the call option value at node A. And remember, this is the final answer of this problem, that the call option value of this particular stock is 1.636. So the premium that you need to pay to purchase this call option, whose spot price is 50, has to be 1.636, right? So if it's more than that, it's not worth it. You have calculated the whole premium of the call option using binomial option pricing model, and it is being estimated here at 1.636. Now please take down this value, and in the next lecture we are going for the calculation of put option. Put option, the process is going to be reversed, because put option gives the buyer the right to sell. So that's the right to sell, but here it was the right to buy, although the formula to calculate the value of put option will be a bit different, will be slightly different, but let's just concentrate on call option, and that's how you have to calculate the value of call option using the formula CU into P plus CD 1 minus P upon ERT. You must remember, CU stands for upswing value, CD stands for downswing value, and if the downswing value is 0, so anything multiplied by that will give you 0, right? So we finish over here, we stop over here, and we are going to continue with the calculation of put option in our next lecture. Thank you.